अस्सलाम वालेकुम बच्चों. Today we will start. Um, Today we will finish actually herpes virus. In my previous lecture we started herpes viruses, and as I told you, herpes virus family consists of 6 very important viruses: herpes simplex virus 1, herpes simplex virus 2, varicella zoster virus, cytomegalovirus, Epstein-Barr virus, and human herpes virus 8. And in the previous lecture, we finished herpes simplex virus 1 and 2 and varicella zoster virus. Today we will start cytomegalovirus and Epstein-Barr virus. थोड़ा सा हम रिवाइज कर लेते हैं अपना previous lecture. Herpes simplex virus type 1 and type 2 mostly causes lesions on the face and on the genitalia. And herpes viruses are DNA envelope viruses. Double stranded DNA envelope viruses. हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं बेटा? We are discussing DNA viruses. And herpes virus is double stranded DNA virus. It is an envelope virus. As I told you, viruses can be double stranded RNA viruses, single stranded RNA viruses, double stranded DNA viruses, and single stranded DNA virus. And herpes virus family is double stranded DNA viruses which are enveloped. They have envelope around their surfaces. They have icosahedral core surrounded by the lipoprotein envelope. ये बाहर बेटा जो है, this is envelope. Okay, this is envelope. This is the nucleocapsid, and this is the double-stranded DNA. And as I told you, herpes simplex virus 1 mostly causes lesions above the waistline, and herpes simplex virus 2 causes lesion below the waistline. And in herpes simplex virus 1 infections, we have vesicles mostly on our face and in the mucocutaneous junction. And in the herpes simplex virus 2 infections, the vesicles are mostly on the genitalia. And what is varicella zoster virus? Varicella zoster virus causes primary disease varicella, which is chickenpox, and zoster is the secondary infection. As I told you, herpes virus family has a potential of latency. Latency में बेटा क्या होता है? The primary phase is followed by the latent phase. Latent phase is actually the asymptomatic phase where the virus resides in the body, and when there is an inciting event, the secondary phase appears. Today we will start cytomegalovirus. Cytomegalovirus, CMV, is the abbreviation of cytomegalovirus. Cytomegalovirus causes cytomegalic inclusion disease. It causes mostly congenital abnormalities in the neonates. It is the most common cause of congenital abnormalities in the United States. इतना common है. Cytomegalovirus is the most common cause of congenital abnormalities in the United States. It also causes pneumonia and other diseases in the immunocompromised patients and heterophilic negative mononucleosis in the immunocompetent individuals. Beta heterophilic negative mononucleosis is actually the mononucleosis in which the heterophilic antibodies are negative. Heterophilic antibodies, सुन लो बेटा ध्यान से. Heterophilic antibodies are the antibodies that are detected by the antigens that are different from the antigens that produces those antibodies. Okay, the heterophilic antibodies are the antibodies produced by the external antigens, and they are detected by the antigens which are different from the antigens that produces those antibodies. Transmission and epidemiology. Cytomegalovirus is transmitted by a variety of modes. Early in the life, it is transmitted across the placenta, within the birth canal, and quite commonly in the breast milk. As I told you, it is the most common cause of the congenital abnormalities in the neonates, so it is transmitted across the placenta, within the birth canal, and quite commonly in the breast milk as well. In the young children, the mode of transmission is by the saliva. Later in life, it is transmitted sexually. So the modes of transmission are different. In neonates, it is transmitted through placenta, through the birth canal. In young children, by the saliva, and in later life, it is transmitted sexually. It can also be transmitted during the blood transfusions and the organ transplant. So now we will revise the mode of transmissions of all the herpes viruses. The mode of transmission of the herpes simplex virus 1, which causes vesicles on the mostly on the mucocutaneous junctions or on the face, is by saliva. The herpes simplex virus 2, which causes the vesicles on the genitalia, is transmitted sexually. And cytomegalovirus is transmitted by variety of modes. In neonates, it is transmitted through placenta, through the birth canal, or by the breast milk. In younger age group, they are transmitted by saliva. And later in life, they are transmitted sexually, or they can be transmitted by the blood transfusions and organ transplants as well. And varicella zoster virus, which causes primary disease, varicella, which is chickenpox, and the secondary disease, which is shingles, is transmitted by the respiratory droplets. Yes, Muhammad Hassan, do you have any question? Okay. बेटा आप लोगों ने कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना होता है ना, you can write in the chat box. Pathogenesis and immunity. Infection of the fetus can cause cytomegalic inclusion disease characterized by multinucleated giant cells with prominent intranuclear inclusions. Many organs are affected. Beta, you can ask the questions later. आप अपनी attendance mark करने के लिए अपने hand raise नहीं करें kindly. You can mark your attendance in the chat box. Infection of the fetus can cause cytomegalic inclusion disease characterized by multinucleated giant cells with prominent intranuclear inclusions. Cytomegalovirus is known by cytomegalic inclusion disease. Actually, it causes the inclusion disease characterized by multinucleated giant cells with prominent intranuclear inclusions. It causes intranuclear inclusions with prominent multinucleated giant cells. Okay, many organs are affected and widespread congenital abnormalities results. इस intranuclear inclusions की वजह से बेटा बहुत से organs affected होते हैं and widespread congenital abnormalities are seen. So cytomegalovirus actually causes intranuclear inclusions. It is characterized by multinucleated giant cells with prominent intranuclear inclusions. So in the nucleus, you will have the intranuclear inclusions as well as you will find the multinucleated giant cells. जब बेटा हमने herpes simplex virus 1 की diagnosis पढ़ी या आपने varicella zoster virus की diagnosis पढ़ी उसमें बेटा मैंने आपको बताया था you will diagnose it by the when you will see the vesicles, at the base of the vesicles you will find the multinucleated giant cells. Okay, इसी तरह बेटा क्या है, in the cytomegalic inclusion disease you will have the intranuclear inclusions with multinucleated giant cells. इसी तरह in the previous herpes simplex or in the varicella zoster virus infections you will find the multinucleated giant cells at base of the vesicle. Infection of the fetus occurs mainly when a primary infection occur in the pregnant woman. इसी तरह बेटा मैंने आपको बताया था when herpes simplex virus 2 infection occurs and it is transmitted by the mother to the fetus in which it causes aseptic meningitis. So in वो ही neonates जो है वो बेटा affected होंगे when the mother has the primary disease. Okay, when the mother has the primary disease, she will transmit the infections. The chances of transmission is more when the mother is transmitted, when the mother have the primary disease. When the mother, as I told you, the primary disease is more severe than the secondary disease. except the zoster or the shingles. So the infection of the fetus occurs mainly when the primary infection occurs in the pregnant woman. Same is the case with the herpes simplex virus 2 infection. Congenital abnormalities are more common when the fetus is infected during the first trimester. This is the second thing you have to remember. Infection of the fetus occur when there is primary infection in the mother. Number 2, congenital abnormalities are more common when the fetus is infected during the first trimester, because in the first trimester mostly the organogenesis takes place in the first trimester mostly. So when the fetus is infected in the first trimester, the congenital abnormalities results. When the fetus is infected in the second or the third trimester, the chances of the congenital abnormalities are less, because in the first trimester mostly the organ development occurs, the organogenesis occurs in the first trimester. So when the fetus is infected in the first trimester, the chances of congenital abnormalities are more. Congenital abnormalities are more common when a fetus is infected during the first trimester than later in the gestation, because the first trimester is when the development of organs occur, and the death of any precursor cells can result in congenital defects. When the fetus is infected in the first trimester is the time when the organ development occurs, and when the fetus is infected and there is any death of the precursor cells, it will result in the congenital defects. Infection of the children and adults are usually asymptomatic except in the immunocompromised individuals. So mostly it causes congenital abnormalities. Infections of the younger ones or in the adults are mostly asymptomatic except in the immunocompromised individuals. Cytomegalovirus enters a latent stage in the leukocytes and can be reactivated when cell-mediated immunity is decreased. As I told you, herpes viruses have the ability of latency. So they enter the latent state within the leukocytes and can be reactivated when the cell-mediated immunity is decreased. Cell-mediated immunity is decreased. When the cell-mediated immunity is decreased, it can be reactivated because there is any inciting event when there is immunosuppression. Cytomegalovirus can also persist in kidneys for years. So, बेटा जैसे हमने पढ़ा था कि in the herpes simplex virus 1 or herpes simplex virus 2 infections or in the varicella zoster infections, mostly the viruses remains latent in the dorsal root ganglia or in the trigeminal ganglia or in the lumbar or spinal ganglia, but or in a lumbar or sacral ganglia. But in cytomegalovirus, the cytomegalovirus remains latent within the leukocytes and can be reactivated when the cell-mediated immunity is decreased. So cytomegalovirus actually enters the leukocytes and remains latent within the leukocytes. It will not go to the ganglia. Okay. Cytomegalovirus can also persist in kidneys for years. And one thing more, I will I told you in the previous lecture, whenever there is latency, when the virus is present in the latent state, it is present within the cytoplasm of the cell. Okay, it is not present within the nucleus. Whenever it enters the nucleus, again the replication will start and you will have the secondary infection. Okay. In the latent phase, the virus will remain in the cytoplasm of the cell. It will not go into the nucleus because in the nucleus the replication will start. Okay, in the latent stage the virus will remain in the cytoplasm. Cytomegalovirus has a specific mechanism of immune evasion that allows it to maintain the latent state for longer periods. What is immune evasion? Immune evasion is a phenomena by which the virus actually protects itself and वो छुप के बैठ जाता है from your immune system. Okay, immune evasion is actually the mechanism by which it protects itself from your immunity, from the cytotoxic T cells. Cytomegalovirus has a specific mechanism of immune evasion that allows it to maintain the latent state for longer periods. In the cytomegalovirus infected cells, assembly of the MHC class 1 viral peptide complex is unstable. So the viral antigens are not displayed on the cell surface and killing by the cytotoxic T cells doesn't occur. So when there will be no assembly of the MSC class 1 molecules and the MSC class 1 molecules are unstable, then the viral antigens are not displayed on the cell surface. When the viral antigens will not be displayed on the cell surfaces, then they will not be killed by the cytotoxic T cells. जब वायरल एंटीजन ही डिस्प्ले नहीं होंगे सेल सरफेस पे तो साइटोटॉक्सिक टी सेल्स उसको किल ही नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है, दिस इज द मैकेनिज्म ऑफ इम्यून एवेजन ऑफ साइटोमेगालोवायरस. क्या करता है बेटा, इसमें एमएससी क्लास 1 मॉलिक्यूल्स जो हैं दे विल बी अनस्टेबल एंड दे विल नॉट displayed and antigens will not be displayed on the cell surfaces, and when the antigens will not be displayed on the cell surfaces they will not be killed by the cytotoxic T cells. What are clinical findings? As I told you, cytomegalovirus causes intranuclear inclusions. Inclusion disease हम इसे कहते हैं, ठीक है? And mostly it causes congenital abnormalities. In the younger children or in the adults, it mostly causes asymptomatic disease unless there will be anyone have immunosuppression. Approximately 20% of the infants infected with cytomegalovirus during gestation shows clinically apparent manifestations of cytomegalic inclusion disease such as microcephaly, seizures, deafness, jaundice, and purpura. So, the cytomegalic inclusion disease can present as microcephaly, seizures, deafness, jaundice, or purpura, and hepatosplenomegaly. Immunocompetent adults, cytomegalovirus cause heterophilic negative mononucleosis, which is characterized by fever, lethargy, and presence of abnormal leukocytes in the peripheral blood smears. बेटा एक्चुअली क्या है हेट्रोफिलिक negative mononucleosis में बेटा क्या है, the presentation is just like the infectious mononucleosis which we will discuss in the later in the Epstein-Barr virus. But in the presentation is just like the infectious mononucleosis in which there is generalized lymphadenopathy, but the heterophilic antibodies are negative. Okay. In the Epstein-Barr virus, which causes infection mononucleosis, there will be heterophilic positive infectious mononucleosis, and heterophilic antibodies will be seen in Epstein-Barr virus or infectious mononucleosis. But in cytomegalovirus, the presentation can be just like the mononucleosis, but heterophilic antibodies are negative. So we call it heterophilic negative mononucleosis, which is characterized by fever, lethargy, and presence of abnormal lymphocytes in the peripheral blood smears. Systemic cytomegalovirus infections, especially pneumonitis and hepatitis, occurs in high proportion in the immunosuppressed patients, those with renal and bone marrow transplants. So, as I told you, mostly क्या करता है बेटा, it causes congenital abnormalities in the neonates, and the congenital abnormalities includes microcephaly, seizures, jaundice, purpura, and hepatosplenomegaly. The neonate will have purpura, hepatosplenomegaly, jaundice, lethargy, seizures, and deafness or microcephaly. So, in neonates, the congenital abnormalities you will find are microcephaly, seizures, deafness, jaundice, purpura, and hepatosplenomegaly. But in the younger children or in the adults, mostly they are in children or in or younger adults will have asymptomatic will be asymptomatic. In younger children or in the adults, you will find no symptoms, but sometimes you will have heterophilic negative mononucleosis in which the patient will present just with the low grade fever and with lethargy, and there will be abnormal lymphocytes in the peripheral blood smears. Patient will present as मुझे बहुत दिनों से बुखार हो रहा है, मेरा जिस्म टूट रहा है, और जब आप उसका CBC कराओगे, you will find the abnormal lymphocytes in the peripheral blood smear. But heterophilic antibodies will be negative. So there will be generalized uh, uh, lethargy, fever and abnormal lymphocytes. मोस्टली या तो पेशेंट एसिम्प्टोमेटिक रहेंगे या आपके साथ बिल्कुल माइल्ड सिम्टम्स के साथ प्रेजेंट करेंगे. बट व्हेन देयर विल बी इम्यूनोसप्रेशन, you will find pneumonitis or hepatitis in immunocompromised patients, mostly with the renal or bone marrow transplant patient. In AIDS patients, cytomegalovirus commonly infects the intestinal tract and causes intractable colitis. In the AIDS patient, specifically in the AIDS patient, you will find the intestinal symptoms, mostly intractable colitis. Colitis is inflammation of the colon. Cytomegalovirus also causes retinitis in the AIDS patients, which can lead to blindness. So in the AIDS patient, you will have different signs and symptoms. You will have the intractable colitis and retinitis, which can lead to blindness. Now we will discuss the laboratory diagnosis. As I told you, in viruses, mostly we will do the ELISA and PCR, but there will be serological tests. You will do the heterophilic antibodies, immunofluorescence assay, and identification of the inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies are actually the intranuclear inclusions with the prominent giant cells. Treatment is genicyclovir. Any questions till now? Any questions till now? Any questions regarding the cytomegalovirus? Revise कर लें बच्चों cytomegalovirus को. Cytomegalovirus is actually the double-stranded DNA virus. It belongs to the herpes virus family. It causes inclusion disease. Mostly, it causes congenital abnormalities, and it is the most common cause of congenital abnormalities in the United States. And in the congenital abnormalities, you will have microcephaly, seizures, jaundice, hepatosplenomegaly, and purpura. And in the younger children or in the adults, mostly they will have no sign or symptoms, but sometimes you will they will have fever, lethargy, or when you will do the CBC, you will have abnormal lymphocytes in the peripheral blood smear. And in the immunocompromised patients, mostly in the renal or renal transplant patients or in the bone marrow transplant patients, you will have the hepatitis or pneumonitis. Whereas in the AIDS patients, you can find the intractable colitis and retinitis. And the mode of transmission of cytomegalovirus in the neonates is through the birth canal, by the placenta, or by the breast milk sometimes, and in the younger children by the saliva, in adults by the sexual transmission or by the blood transfusions. Okay, and it mostly causes the intranuclear inclusions with prominent giant cells. Okay, and how you will diagnose? You will diagnose by the serological test, immunofluorescence assay, and by identification of the intranuclear inclusions. Treatment is genicyclovir. Replication cycle is same for all the herpes viruses, and we discussed the replicative cycle very in detail in my previous lectures. Epstein-Barr virus. Epstein-Barr virus causes infectious mononucleosis. जैसे मैंने आपसे बात की बेटा, Epstein-Barr virus will cause infectious mononucleosis, and infectious mononucleosis will present with generalized lymphadenopathy. मैंने आपको बताया था बेटा, जो साइटोमेगालोवायरस में जब एडल्ट्स और यंगर चिल्ड्रन जो हैं वो इन्फेक्ट होते हैं तो प्रेजेंटेशन होती है जस्ट लाइक mononucleosis, but the heterophilic antibodies are negative, but the heterophilic antibodies are positive in Epstein-Barr virus. It is associated with Burkitt's lymphoma and other B-cell lymphomas and nasopharyngeal carcinoma as well. Epstein-Barr virus is associated with hairy leukoplakia, a whitish non-malignant lesion on the tongue seen especially in the AIDS patient. In the AIDS patient, you can see the hairy leukoplakia, which is the whitish non-malignant lesion on the tongue. Important properties. The most important antigen is the viral capsid antigen, VCA, which is the viral capsid antigen present on the nucleocapsid, because it is used most often in the diagnostic test. Humans are natural hosts. Epstein-Barr virus mainly infects the lymphoid cells, primarily B lymphocytes. Transmission. Epstein-Barr virus is transmitted primarily by the exchange of the saliva. Pathogenesis and immunity. The infection first occurs in the nasopharynx. First of all, it is transmitted by the saliva. Infection first occurs in the nasopharynx, then it will go into the blood and where it infects the B lymphocytes. Cytotoxic T lymphocytes reacts against the infected B cells. So B lymphocytes will be affected and cytotoxic T lymphocytes react against those B cells, against those infected B cells. The T cells are atypical lymph seen in the blood smear and Epstein-Barr virus remains latent within the B lymphocytes. इसी तरह बेटा cytomegalovirus में भी क्या हो रहा था? Cytomegalovirus remains latent in the leukocytes and in the Epstein-Barr virus, Epstein-Barr virus remains latent in the B lymphocytes. Immune response to Epstein-Barr virus infection consists first of IgM antibodies to VCA, which is viral capsid antigen. IgG antibody to viral capsid antigen follows and persists for the life. IgM response is therefore useful for the diagnosis of the acute infection. In addition to the Epstein-Barr virus specific antibodies, non-specific heterophilic antibodies are also formed. Heterophilic antibodies are the antibodies produced by the foreign antigens or by the antigens that are not present in the body, and heterophilic antibodies are the antibodies that are detected by the antigens that are different from the antigens that produces those antibodies. Clinical findings. Infectious mononucleosis is characterized primarily by the fever, sore throat, lymphadenopathy, and splenomegaly. The patient will present as with fever, halka sa thoda sa sore throat hoga, and when you will examine, you will find the generalized lymphadenopathy. Infectious mononucleosis की आपने तीन बातें याद रखनी है: fever, sore throat, generalized lymphadenopathy, and sometimes splenomegaly as well. Anorexia and lethargy are prominent. Hepatitis is frequent. Encephalitis occurs as a complication, and spontaneous recovery usually occurs within 2 to 3 weeks. Splenic rupture associated with contact sports such as football is a paired but a rare complication of splenomegaly. So the patient will present mostly with a fever, sore throat, generalized lymphadenopathy, sometimes splenomegaly, and hepatitis is sometimes present, and encephalitis is a very rare complication. In addition to infectious mononucleosis, Epstein-Barr virus causes two other diseases. One is severe, often fatal, progressive form of infectious mononucleosis that occurs in children with an inherited immunodeficiency. The other disease is hairy leukoplakia, a virus lesion which is seen on the tongue of the AIDS patient. As I told you, Epstein-Barr virus is responsible for causing infectious mononucleosis. It is present in association with the B-cell lymphomas and hairy leukoplakia, which is a viral lesion present on the tongue of the AIDS patient. So, in addition to infectious mononucleosis, Epstein-Barr virus causes two other diseases. One is severe, often fatal, progressive form infection mononucleosis that occurs in children with inherited immunodeficiency. Lab diagnosis. The diagnosis of the infectious mononucleosis is clinical laboratory. In the clinical laboratory is based primarily on the two approaches. In the hematological approach, सबसे पहले बेटा क्या है कि B lymphocytes को वो अटैक करते हैं और T lymphocytes जो हैं वो encounter करने के लिए जाते हैं, ठीक है? So the diagnostic approach will be hematological. In the hematological approach, absolute lymphocytosis occurs. Lymphocyte count बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाता है, and as many as 30% of abnormal lymphocytes are seen on the smear. These atypical lymphs are large and have lobulated nucleus and a vacuolated basophilic cytoplasm. These are cytotoxic T cells that are reacting against the Epstein-Barr virus infected B cells. So you will have absolute lymphocytosis you will find 30% of abnormal lymphocytes, and these are the atypical lymphs. They are atypical lymphs, which are large in size and have the lobulated nucleus with a vacuolated basophilic cytoplasm. So these atypical lymphs will be large, they will have lobulated nucleus and basophilic cytoplasm. They are cytotoxic T cells that are reacting against the Epstein-Barr virus infected B cells. ये कौन से atypical lymphs हैं? They are actually those cytotoxic T cells that are reacting against the Epstein-Barr virus infected B cells. In the immunological approach, there are two types of serological tests. There is heterophilic antibody test, which is useful in the early diagnosis of the infectious mononucleosis, which is also called the spot test, because it is usually positive by week 2 of the illness. And the monospore test is often used to detect the heterophilic antibody. So there are two approaches. First of all, hematological, you will find the atypical lymphs, abnormal lymphocytosis. 30% abnormal lymphocytes will be present in your blood. Absolute lymphocytosis, 30% of abnormal lymphocytes. These atypical lymphs are mostly large, lobulated nucleus, and they will have the basophilic cytoplasm. These are actually the cytotoxic T cells that will react against those infected B cells. And in the immunological approach, you will find the heterophilic antibodies. Heterophilic antibodies, beta मैं आपको बता चुकी हूँ. Heterophilic antibodies are those antibodies that are detected by those antigens that will be different from the antigens that produces them. And this is the monospore test. This is the rapid test. And treatment, no antiviral therapy is necessary for the uncomplicated infectious mononucleosis. Acyclovir has little activity against the Epstein-Barr virus, but administration of high doses may be useful in life-threatening Epstein-Barr virus infection. It is associated with cancer. It is associated with B-cell lymphoma, and Epstein-Barr virus infection is associated with cancers of the lymphoid origin, mostly Burkitt's lymphoma. In African children and the other B-cell lymphomas like nasopharyngeal carcinoma in the Chinese population and thymic carcinoma in the United States, because actually it infects the B cells. So it is associated with Burkitt's lymphoma and other B-cell lymphomas like a nasopharyngeal carcinoma and thymic carcinoma in the children. So we finished the herpes viruses. एक चीज बेटा जो मैंने आपको बतानी है वो ये है कि in the cytomegalovirus, not in the Epstein-Barr virus, in the cytomegalovirus, when we will diagnose the cytomegalovirus, we will found the intranuclear inclusions. ये हमने पढ़ा है ना, identification of the inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies की identification कैसे होती है actually? You will find the owl's eye appearance. Okay? Inclusion bodies की identification कैसे होती है? We will have the owl's eye appearance. ये मैं आपको in the next lecture we will discuss on this one as well. ठीक है? आपको मैं बताऊंगी कि cytomegalovirus is associated with the owl's eye appearance. तो आपने cytomegalovirus is actually causes the inclusion disease. So we will have to identify the inclusion body. It actually causes the intranuclear inclusions, and you will diagnose it by the owl's eye appearance. We will discuss in the next lecture. Okay? Do you have any questions? The time is up, I think. Okay, beta. Thank you.